beat up by some friends, and then everybody tried to act like they didn't know what happened, and all of a sudden she ended up murked. Okay, kind of like the whole Kanika Jenkins situation, y'all. This is crazy, and it's like we like to do it to ourselves. That's what I can't understand. But when it's time to stand up against the oppressor, everybody sits down and has a seat. They get comfortable. See, we don't have time for comfort when it's time for us to rise out against oppression. But then when you see someone that looks like you, now you got all the fight in the world. Now you got it ready to turn up. You got to get your gun. You got to go shooting people, killing, robbing, stabbing, all these things people doing to one another. Man, this world is so freaking backwards, y'all. I don't get it. I really don't understand the logic of people.
I
And
don't even.
a lot of people have started to talk about some of this stuff, on their YouTube channels, and I'm glad. But should it take all of this to get to this point? No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't take this long for people to catch on. I've been seeing what was going on, and they're putting it all in the music now. What I will say is, yeah, you can make some catchy songs, but we got to stop tuning into the nonsense. We got to stop supporting a lot of the nonsense that we see that's taking place on the internet in society, because whether you know it or not, that is influencing people that's grown in their 30s and 40s. They still going out here trying to live a life like they're in a video shoot. They're going out here trying to be flashy, trying to prove a point, what they can do, holding each other down. Like, you're not doing anything until you really run this country, until you start running some of these continents and we own natural resources and land. What are you really talking about? You're not talking about anything.
I know. I think it's just crazy how much hip hop has influenced not just the black culture, but culture in general, and it really is destroying like our youth. I really do agree with that, giving us false personas like the bling bling, the nice cars, the flashiness, the mansions, the yachts. It's not like a lifestyle that we should want to really seek out more, because I did my research though. We shouldn't idolize these rappers and these people on BET because they're not even on the Forbes list of the 10th richest citizens. They don't have access to the 10th of this nation's wealth. So why should we idolize these rappers and these people who don't even have it like that? So that's when I knew the hip hop game was full of BS.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because as you talk about the wealth that a lot of melanated people own, so when people want to talk about you see, I feel like the other races fight outsiders, but not us. Exactly. Exactly. You got people over in France be standing up for their rights. They be out in the streets for real. And like what you were saying about the fact that we don't really own the world's wealth, we really don't. Because even the people that they look up to, they like to look up to Beyonce and Jay-Z for whatever reason. Like they are just the overseers of the whole industry, and they are not. Because they have a boss that they answer to, whether you believe it or not. And these people that they look up to are way far more wealthier than them, way far more wealthier. I was talking about this the other day. Somebody brought this to my attention. You want to know how much someone really has? They said Jay-Z wanted to purchase part of a basketball team or a football team. I can't remember what sports team it was. Well, guess what? When they looked up the research on Jay-Z and how much he owns, yeah, he might have like 500,000. I'm sorry, 500,000,000 or whatever. But in order to buy into these teams, you need to have billions, okay? He doesn't have enough, so he's trying to partner up with, I think, Elon Musk or somebody to buy part of the team, or one of these other millionaires to buy part of the team, or another billionaire. Like, if you really got it like that, you can buy that team. And a lot of these celebrities that people are looking up to don't really have it like that. So I said, well, why doesn't he team up with Beyonce and buy the team? Well, guess what? Because Beyonce is not worth all of that money either to buy the team with him. So even with their income combined, they cannot buy the sports team. He has to partner with someone. So that's why people need to stop looking up and idolizing these people. And then they sell their souls to get the fame and fortune that they have. What's good? We got Sherelle in the building.
Hey, what's going on? I'm not staying right here long, but
Okay.
what made me click on the link is because you were talking about the influence of like the music and how the music doesn't have a message currently. And I just remember like it was several years ago. If you don't mind, I'm probably straying off topic a little bit,
No, you're
but
good.
I remember it was several years ago. This was probably like in the earlier part of the 2000s. Do y'all remember like when the Sean Bell shooting happened, and I believe it
Hmm.
was in New York? And I remember I was watching. I was deep into that story, and they had a thing on BET, and they were talking about how when just like when things used to happen in the past, like if you had like Rodney King or some type of other, injustice or whatever that was, kind of like mainstream in the media or whatever, how people would like take to the streets and people would riot and people would really respond a certain type of way. And they were like, when the Sean Bell situation happened, nobody really made a big deal about it. And they were like, if you look at the music and what was like trending as like the top music, you had more conscious music like in the past, and people would be more active. Um, and then I remember they specifically said the number one song when Sean Bell got killed was "Lollipop" by Lil Wayne, and I was like, it made sense, and that's why I felt the way about how everybody responded to the George Floyd situation, because I was like, it's been so many other situations that was worse, and people didn't really go out and have, like it didn't make people like wake up or whatever then. So I don't, that's why I always look at that situation funny, because I was like, I don't see what specifically happened in this situation that was like out of the norm or just anything extra. But
Exactly.
they know that the music does have an impact, and even like some of the executives have kind of been coming out and